She has a pretty interesting story. She was both cursed and blessed by prison realignment. And prison realignment, if you remember, it kicked in 2011, October 1st, 2011. And what happened is the Supreme Court told Governor Brown in a ruling that you need to reduce your prison population. And so Governor Brown and his team came up with a plan by relieving their population by people who were convicted of nonviolent, non-serious, non-sex crimes served their sentence in the county jail. And after realignment hit, we are now housing people for 12, 15 years in our county jail system. Kat Dubinsky, who's going to come up and talk to you, she right now is our longest time served inmate that we have. What we are trying to do is shape our local justice system and determine, what do we want our system to look like? Do we want it to be punitive so that people who do something wrong get convicted and do a whole bunch of time? Or do we want it a harm reduction model where there's other things we're looking at? There's community restoration, there's restitution, there's other ways of paying back your debt to society once you've been convicted of a crime. And so those are things that we're constantly wrestling with in corrections. Ms. Dubinsky will have done 4 years when she gets released from our custody. And she's not the same person today that she was 4 years ago. And in a lot of aspects, she may argue this, but there's parts of her 4 years of confinement that have done her a lot of good. She's given those people some hope that here she is, the longest standing inmate in county jail, and she's about to get released, and she's going to come out of it okay, and she's actually developed some work skill. By her being successful in what she's done and taking advantage of what she's done, she's actually given a lot of other people in our county jail system some hope.
Thank you all for coming here tonight. My name is Katrina Dubinsky, but everyone calls me Kat, or Miss Kat, where I live now. I'm a very fortunate volunteer at the Homeless Garden, and I'm grateful that Derry asked me to speak to you tonight. I'm especially pleased to speak on something that involves promise, hope, solutions, and humanity. The volunteering I'm doing now is not about the volunteer work. It's about giving back, and getting back to my life. I'm relearning how to be responsible, take action, take direction, and set goals. I now see the value in all my relationships, and every day is a gift to me. While I'm a volunteer, I feel like a trainee. Chris, Derry, Lindsay, and Mike, you all did that for me. You built me up to feel like an integral part of your team, and you gave me a sense of belonging, as did my trainee co-workers. I say thank you for accepting me as part of your team. When I first arrived to volunteer, and for many months after, everyone here thought I was a trainee, until they asked about my story. And I told them. Almost 8 years ago, I made choices that changed lives, including the lives of my family and my own, in a very bad way. When called to answer for those choices, I found myself standing on the threshold of a prison sentence. No one but my Creator and myself knew how dark this time became and where my thoughts led me. My story wasn't supposed to end that way, though. Social justice in AB 109 said I would serve my prison sentence in the Santa Cruz County Jail. By participating in recovery and behavior modification program, all of them offered through the jail, one in particular known as GEMA, I was chosen for a pilot project which included volunteer work here at the Homeless Garden. For change to happen, someone had to take the initial leap of faith, and someone did just that. I'm sure there were many people involved in the startup of this program that I'm involved in, and I never even knew about them, but I did know about 2 at our jail who were instrumental in moving the idea of helping those with long-term sentences reintegrate, get some skills to reintegrate back into society after their sentence is finished. These 2 were Lieutenant Plagueman and Supervising Correctional Officer Diana Holland. Together with Derry, Stacy from Gemma, we set up this program, and I would be their first participant. I was paving the way for others to follow. The Homeless Garden Project staff, trainees, and other volunteers probably didn't even know it. While we were working together, they were giving me something they already had. They were helping me to regain many key skills I had lost sight of so long ago. Confidence, self-esteem, hope, some integrity, purpose, and finding forgiveness for myself. The garden has magic of its own. We all know that, right? But the people, they're the ones that make it happen. That magic. That's where the inspiration, solidarity, and beauty really comes from. Teamwork happens here all the time. If we have a job that needs to be done, Chris, Mike, or Lindsay give the direction, and before you know it, a whole bed is planted out. Together, we do get that job done. The first place I worked at the garden was in the greenhouse with Andrew. Are you still here? He taught me so much about seeds. Look around you. All of this beauty came from tiny little seeds, so many of them. Helping with the harvest of food and flowers for the community-supported agriculture shares, I saw the results of our work. We were feeding people in many different ways. I learned about irrigation, clearing a bed for planting. I can recognize and name many of the flowers. Love in a Mist and dahlias are 2 of my favorite. All trainees here are connected to social workers. I too was linked with a social worker. They show us how to get our needs met, sign up for school, find housing, and receive medical care and many other services. They help us to help ourselves. My check-in every week with my social worker became an opportunity for me to be vulnerable and let others support me, something I haven't been able to do in quite a while. The social workers came to be our friends, and they helped us achieve our goals by teaching us to advocate for ourselves. Thank you to all of the social workers for the ample amounts of compassion you have given to all of us. Our circle meeting held weekly is a place to share about our lives, the good, the bad, and the extraordinary, without judgment. Society at times stereotypes others, and in doing so, we're judging and diminishing their value. Think for a minute what springs to your mind when you hear the words homeless, inmate, law, police, and felon. During these circle meetings, I see clarity and confidence rise and draw our group closer together because we value each other. As I have told everyone in our circle, I receive so much more here than I could give. The Homeless Garden Project offers classes every week on a variety of topics: farming, conflict resolution, and job skills, just to name a few, every week. We went to Shoreline, Goodwill's Career Center. We went online, checked out jobs, made our resumes. I'm going to need a job when my freedom is restored. And I'm ready for my first interview with my resume and my self-confidence. I've been thinking about what job I will seek. We're all born with native gifts. Those gifts, when we give them freely, can serve others as well as ourselves. I was inspired when Angie asked me to train in candle dipping with Raven. Raven, where are you? Raven, you are a fun and energetic teacher. The beeswax candles you so painstakingly make are beautiful Oh, and they're for sale in the store too, by the way. Angie provided me yet another opportunity. Where is Angie? Angie's a store manager. But wait, she's more. Just like the commercial. Angie does a lot of everything. And she's kind of taken me under her wing and given me some new skills. She allowed me to participate in production of products like the lavender shortbread mixes, the herb biscuits, and the rosemary chocolate brownies. Those two they're even in the farm stand for sale. Baking is my passion. Enjoying fresh baked sweets makes people happy. I take pleasure in happiness. On many occasions, I've baked for my housemates at the Blaine Street Women's Facility where I now live. They always tell me, "Oh, Miss Cat, everything you make is so good. You should sell your treats to people. They will love them." Angie, she's going to help me. She's showing me how to put together a plan for a social enterprise of my own. That won't just be about the product. With Angie's guidance in writing a business plan and costing out my baking mixes, I'm doing the footwork necessary to start baking and selling the products at farmers markets. My mission statement has been written. Putting my life's experiences to work for the good of others, I have found a higher purpose. Helping people to help themselves by giving them jobs. Who knows where that could lead us all? Jails to jobs. What a beautiful concept. I have witnessed the success of many men and women who have graduated here. It's a year-long program. Many graduated with jobs and with housing, and they haven't come back. I have abundant amounts of gratitude for being able to do my time at the Blaine Street Women's Facility, which afforded me the opportunity to work at the Homeless Garden Project. Those dark thoughts I had diminished with each passing day. I have felt supported by many at the jail and at the garden. It is my personal opinion, and I have to say this county was blessed the day that Jim Hart became Sheriff Jim Hart. He and all of those who work under him, whose supervision I've been with for quite a while now, they're not as portrayed in the movies. I've never met a single one that's like any of those people. They're good people who care and are constantly seeking ways to help those of us who have a hard time getting up off of our knees. Thank you, Sheriff Hart, for your support of me, Blaine Street, this garden, the program that brought me to the garden, all that you do for us, the countless other ways that you give to this community. The common ground has already been discovered. Perhaps the Sheriff's Department and the Homeless Garden Project will be able to cultivate a relationship that could serve to further promote productive lives and put what grows out here to the ultimate use, serving the needs of our community. Stephen, my Stephen, the love of my life. He always says, together, we'll get through anything. Stephen, you have been unwavering in your support of me all these years, waiting patiently. Keep looking to the future. Soon, you will see us both there with our 4 beautiful grandchildren and our family. I love you. Gratefulness and gratitude are abundant in my heart. I have gained wisdom beyond my years, and I will use that wisdom and all that I've gained at the Homeless Garden Project to do good works in the world. To everyone here, it is important that you know how vital your support is to the Homeless Garden Project and how much all of us here appreciate everything you do. The very fact that you're here tonight speaks volumes for this community. I leave you with this. It's an African proverb. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together.